Hi, let's get into a reading. The question that kept coming up for this reading was, what am I not seeing? There is something that's been hidden from you in some way, and you've been asking for guidance or a sign or clarity on something. We'll see if this is for you. As always, use your discernment. If this doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel like it's for you, then it's not. And that's okay. It's not always going to be. I will say off top, the energy feels a little disorienting. It feels wobbly, a little off balance. You may be experiencing fatigue, some headaches. It feels like you're lightheaded, like you need to drink more water or ground your energy in some way. And what I'm seeing visually are the two circles kind of doing this. I forgot what they're called. Vertices? No, vest. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, there is something that's coming into alignment. However, at the same time, it's creating this sort of wobbly feeling. Again, that disorientation. Anyway, we'll see as we get into the cards. We're going to start with some oracle messages to see if this is for you. These will be signifiers. So if the messages that come through feel like they align with you and where you're at right now, then that can be confirmation that this reading is for you. And we will get into the tarot for what it is that you're not seeing. Before that, though, I felt inclined to do a bibliomancy message to kick this off. Bibliomancy is another form of divination where you use books to receive divine guidance. It's something I've done ever since I was a child. I don't know if you can hear, there's a child yelling outside. Children may be significant. I don't know. We'll see. Do you hear that? Life is happening all around us, regardless of whether we're recording a YouTube video or not. Anyway, the book for this bibliomancy message is Mary Magdalene Revealed, one of my favorites by Megan Watterson. So let's begin here. If you want, feel free to get in a comfortable position, palms down to ground, palms up to receive. You decide what it is you need. And just take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out of the mouth to ground your energy. Relax that jaw, take those shoulders away from your ears. Try to relax your body. Okay, Spirit, for whoever this message is for, what is the opening guidance through this book, please and thank you. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. You know what? All right. So I'm freaking out right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh, look at you saw. I mean, maybe you didn't see me flipping, but I landed on page 122. That may be a significant number for you. 122, January 22nd. 122 is a 5. That's the number of change. And this is the passage I pointed to. There are two circles of equal size and identical shape, and where they overlap creates the most ancient symbol of the divine feminine, the Vesica Pisces. That was literally what I was trying to say a minute ago. It's an oval or an egg shape. It's the shape that surrounds Christ in most images and icons of him. The Vesica Pisces is also on the lid to the well itself. We circled it together and took a soul family photo like the pilgrims we were. It's one of my favorite photos ever. We're all lit up like lighthouses. I look at this photo of us and I remember it all. The light that's beaming from our faces tells the story of what love does, how it disarms us and unbinds us from the chains we place there ourselves. Ooh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. That is, oh my gosh, can I just make sure we're still recording? We are, because I need someone else to witness this. Okay, we're starting off strong. Something else, you may be reminiscing over old photos, or there's photos that hold significance to you that may be tied to whatever this message is of what it is that you're not seeing or what's being hidden from you. Um, wow, I still can't believe that the Vesica Pisces was what I was seeing in my mind, and we flipped to that page. Okay. Um, my top lip is itchy, as you can probably tell. Yeah, there's a photo for someone here that is nostalgic. It may be a photo of you with someone you really care about, someone you love, someone who you feel like is a part of your soul family, someone who may have been um, safe. It feels like someone that felt safe for your soul to be seen, to be expressed, someone very nurturing. Either way, someone that you love and care for deeply. There is something about that energy that has reminded you of where you continue to feel, as it says, chained. So perhaps there's a sense of liberation that you felt with this person, probably because of the safety. All right. What a start. All right, let's start with some oracle messages. Here, we'll start with the celestial bodies, astrology deck, astrology and numerology, to get some guidance and signifiers for you. We'll reveal them all at the same time. So, Spirit, can you tell me something about this person watching, please? If you know your astrology, this is going to be really helpful. So if not, it's okay, but it will be more confirming if you know your placements or if you can pull up your chart about this person watching who this message is for. Oh, you got messages. Message. That's a lot. That's a lot. Not you bringing out the whole deck. Also, I know this is vain of me, but I don't know how I feel about that part. Maybe we just need to like be chaotic, you know? Just let it be what it is. Like, this is me. Maybe that's a message. Stop trying to be perfect. Just be yourself. Let your wild babies, we were talking about children, let your wild, raw, authentic form show. Tell me about this person. Ooh. We have so much information coming through, so this will not be for everybody. The number 8 is also standing out to me. That may be a significant number for you, or maybe you're seeing a lot of eights, destiny. Lots about your destiny as well. No wonder this feels heavy. Not heavy, but it just feels like, what is happening? This is it. There's like a sense of urgency, but it's like a sense of urgency, but also knowing that the timing is divine. All right, last deck, and then we're going to get into all this. Any goddesses coming through for this person or as confirmation? Ooh, for this person. All right, with all these cards coming out, I almost feel like you might want to take some notes and come back to this. I knew she was going to come out. Mary Magdalene, we used her book. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And people want to say this is all made up. This is some foo-foo. Please, please. Anyway, let me not. It's not about me. It's not about the credibility. Y'all know what it is. That's why you're here. Okay. Let's talk about you for a second before we get into what you're not seeing. Because we got so many cards here. I honestly feel like you're just stubborn. I think you get a lot of messages, but you don't listen. Now here I am, Capricorn. Let me tell you what it is. All right. I almost don't even know where to start. Let's start where we started with the decks. Astrology wise, we got square, Jupiter, ninth house, and then the number 3 at the bottom. Here's the imagery again. This is important. This is important. This keeps coming up. This is about union. This is unity. 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, it equals 3. As you can see by the triangle. It is the 2 that becomes 1 of a higher source. Anyway, square, ninth house, Jupiter. You may have your Jupiter in the ninth house. If so, see if it's squaring any other planets. If it is squaring any planets, and if you need help with this, you can book a session with me, and we can take a look together. If your Jupiter is in the ninth house and squaring another planet, I feel like the planet or placement that it's squaring is the block that is preventing you from experiencing the wisdom that Jupiter keeps trying to hand you. Because Jupiter is about abundance, wisdom, wealth, faith, optimism. Ninth house is all about higher learning, foreign travel, philosophy. It is expansion of the mind. Jupiter is the guru, also the husband. The ninth house is actually Jupiter's natural home. So if you have Jupiter in the ninth house, it's actually a very good placement. Jupiter is able to really show up and show out there. However, with this square, this is an angle of friction, of tension. It's when 2 placements in your astrological chart are not, they're not, you know, there's some problems. They're not really getting along that great. There's something that's getting in the way. So again, if there's something that's squaring your Jupiter in your ninth house, this may be a block that is getting in the way of the knowledge, the higher learning, the epiphanies, the revelations, the faith that has been revealed to you, which again, it feels like if this message is for you, you've been getting a lot of guidance. And we also have some dream cards that have come up. So I wouldn't be surprised if you also get guidance in your dreams. But I think either you fear it or you try to tuck it away because it requires you to believe in something that may be frightening to you or that is asking you to show up in a way that you're not used to. That might be the square also. There's tension, there's friction, there's something that's making you uncomfortable here. I wish I could remember off the top of my head if something is squaring the ninth house, what house that would be. I want to say, I'm not going to try. My brain's doing too many things right now, and I don't want to give false information. If you book a session with me, we can look at it together. If you can do this on your own, great, do it. Figure it out. Confirmation burp. Oh my gosh. Out of curiosity, what's at the top of the deck? Waxing gibbous. Yeah, you're coming to a revelation here. There's something that's coming to like a full moon illumination. You're almost there. When I asked from the dream oracle cards, you got two oracle cards and then a dream card and a dream card at the bottom. So these dreams may be additional confirmation for you. If you've been dreaming of flying or falling, if you've been dreaming of landscapes or places, faraway places, foreign travel, things of that nature, or specific places, this can also be confirmation for you. That's beautiful because I just said the ninth house was about foreign travel. Did I? Did I not say that? It is. Ninth house is about foreign travel. Okay. Actually, I want to come back to these, sorry, because there are questions here and I'm being serious. I know I'm like a nerd and I take notes for everything because I just love to do that. But if this is resonating with you so far, pause, grab a paper and a pen. I'm going to need you to take some notes. This is going to be a deep dive and I'm going to need you to reflect on this and like sit with it. This isn't one of those, okay, we're done. Like, no, this feels like, especially with all the wisdom coming up and Jupiter coming up, this is trying to really illuminate something to you that's going to require you to reflect, to take some time after this is done and reflect. So I'm going to come back to the questions. We also got heartache and loss, a mental card, moving on, a mental card, third eye chakra, temptation, which is the devil in tarot, and intuition. If this message is for you, you may have been stuck in a mental cycle that was stemming from some sort of heartache or loss that you experienced that has created a lot of fear for you. Whatever this was, I think it blocked your intuition, but your intuition is very strong. You got two cards of intuition. Again, you are so tapped in. I don't know that you trust it. I think you fear it. And I think you fear it because it's asking you to surrender to something that's bringing this back up for you. This is why we have the temptation card. See how he's trying to turn away from the light? This is you fighting yourself. This is the shadow. As you can see, imagery it means something. There is a key here and it's lit up, but he keeps turning away from it, even though he knows he's meant to grab it because it's something significant for him. This may be the key to everything that he has been trying to unlock, but there are shadows, unconscious behaviors, unconscious traits, fears, whatever, that have grabbed hold of him and make it harder for him to actually face the light, to grab the key and make use of it. These are addictions. And again, I always like to remind people addictions are not just substances. They can be, but even that is a byproduct of something much deeper. Addictions are coping mechanisms. So, what is it that you are afraid to face or deal with that you use addictions to help you navigate? Again, this is a mental wound. This is about loss. This is grief. This is fear of experiencing this again. I do feel like you are in a place of moving on, itchy, moving on from whatever has grabbed hold of your mind, which is allowing more space for your intuition. But remember that every chakra has a demon. And by demon, we mean something that blocks it from being able to be balanced. And for the third eye, the demon is illusion. And so again, is your mind painting an illusion that allows you to stay here? Because again, with this type of energy, with shadow energy, you don't realize that you are perpetuating the wound. The mind is very smart. And when it tries to keep you safe, it makes you believe through illusion that what you're doing is the right thing to do. The way to know for sure is how it feels in here. But many people close this and rely on this to feel safe because this can feel unpredictable and scary. It's very vulnerable. This operates on predictability. And so that's what it tries to create. And that's what you were doing with this. You were creating predictability because it kept you safe. You knew how to show up because it was the same way you would show up all the time. But it's not the way you're meant to show up in order to align with your destiny. You got to get off the wheel. In order to truly align and hear your intuition, you need to be in your body. You are not in your body if you're in your head. That's why I remember I was telling you at the very beginning, the energy felt disorienting. I was feeling lightheaded. You were not in your body. You're in your head. That's why grounding is so important. 6 is also a significant number. You may be seeing repeating 6s. And no, that's not evil, so relax. Bottom of the deck here, we have rest and rejuvenate. Rest your mind. Look at him in nature. What did I tell you? Go out and ground in nature. Talk to a damn tree. They're great listeners, and they can transmute energy. We also have crown chakra underneath, divine guidance, material and spiritual prosperity, which is what I think you've been working towards, but you keep hitting a block because sacrifice. There's something you're being asked to sacrifice, which feels like this energy. And then look at throat chakra. There's something you're not expressing, and or the demon of the throat chakra is lies. Where are you being deceiving to yourself or others? Are you deceiving yourself by keeping this alive and pushing away the very thing that you know you want because you're not willing to sacrifice who you've always been, the thought patterns, the habits, the beliefs that have kept you stuck in this cycle, that have allowed you to play in this false game of certainty, that have allowed you to participate in the illusion? Are you ready for the truth? I don't know. That's up to you. We'll do the words last. The goddesses that came out, we have Ishtar with boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others, demands on your time and energy. You need to strengthen your boundaries with others and with yourself. I'm feeling it right here. You're not expressing yourself. You may not be saying no. You may say yes when you really want to say no, or saying no when you really want to say yes. Still, boundaries are important. Dog bark, dog bark for confirmation. Also, write down these goddesses and look into them. They may have more guidance for you, or they may have some sort of alignment with this experience. So, Ishtar. We got our girl Mary Magdalene again, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And again, she's holding the light at her heart, your heart space. The demon of the heart is grief, talking about heartache and loss. Is grief blocking your ability from seeing the truth? And then we got Solis, bodies of water. Spend time near water, such as a lake, river, or the ocean, to recharge your batteries. Again, being out in nature. Water is also the element of emotion. So it may help you cleanse. It may help you better understand your emotions. Bottom of the deck, we have Mawu, Mother Earth. You are called upon to help with environmentalism. Earth coming up strong, you may have prominent earth placement, or this may have something to do with an earth sign, or you just, again, need to ground and get out into earth and experience it. All right, let's talk about the dream cards first. We have the number 8 with landscapes and places. The questions are you comfortable in your environment? Do you wish to explore new experiences and perspectives? Do you wish to escape from your present constraints? The next dream card we got is the number 4, flying and falling. Where do you need to be, or I'm sorry, what do you need to be free of? Are you ready to take risks and fly solo? What do you need to feel empowered? Write these questions down, answer them in your own time. And when I would use these cards in readings, I would tell clients, when you respond, don't think about it. Just have a stream of consciousness. Just start writing. That's how you bypass your subconscious mind. If you start thinking about it and, oh, well, I don't know, da, 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 you're doing too much. What did I say? Get out of your head. What's the first thing that comes out? It's between you and you. No one's going to read this. No one's going to grade this. There's no right or wrong answer. Stop placing that pressure on yourself. Just answer it honestly. That is my only ask. Be honest about your answers. On the landscapes and places, there are some significant symbolism of places. The desert is very significant. We have the Eiffel Tower, so Paris may be significant. We have the Statue of Liberty, so New York, Thailand. We got Red Rock, which makes me think of Sedona. I'm not sure what these buildings are, but it's making me think of Shanghai, China. And then the oracle cards, we got number 46 with surrender. Let go of the internal and external struggles in your life. Give up the fight to control others and situations. Relinquish your need to be right and surrender to a higher power. And then we also have, my goodness, this light. We have the number 26 with wisdom. Experience and failure lead to wisdom. Apply wisdom to a present situation. Learn from the spirit world and its collective knowledge. The other thing I heard with this is for whoever I'm talking to, One of your fears is assumptions, or it's rooted in assumptions. And what I mean by that is assumptions is one of your four internal energy blocks, or what I like to call the internal villains. I'm actually doing a free webinar on this for Sunday, February 16th. If you're interested to join, I'll put the link down below. The internal energy block of assumption is any time that you find yourself in a situation that is reminiscent of something you've experienced in the past, you assume that the outcome will be the same. It's a very human thing. I've done it plenty of times. However, what the card is illustrating is instead of assuming that the outcome is the same, use it as, oh, I've been here before. I have wisdom when it comes to this situation because I've been here before. I'm hearing a plane. What can you do to implement the wisdom from the prior situation into this one so that you don't end up with the same outcome? What can you do differently? What was it in that other situation that made you be like, oh my gosh, if only I had another chance, if only I was able to do this over, if only I would have done this differently. This is your opportunity to do it differently. But perhaps you're too clouded by the fear we talked about that you're not seeing that this is an opportunity to put into practice the wisdom that you have acquired from a situation that felt similar to this. Travel may be significant for whoever this is with the plane sound and ninth house and the dream card. So again, before we get into these messages, signifiers for this collective, for whoever this message is for. I mean, watch from the beginning if you need to digest because it's a lot, but just some symbols. Jupiter in the ninth house, squaring something. Jupiter in the ninth house. Heartache and loss, grief, dreams, shadow work, your intuition, your third eye chakra, your crown chakra, the numbers 6 and 8. Dreaming of travel of some faraway place or a significant place, dreaming of flying and falling. Yeah, 8 is very significant here. Goddesses Ishtar, Mary Magdalene, Sulis, and Mau. Who's at the top of the deck? Damara, guiding children. Children keep coming up. So children may be significant. Perhaps you're having dreams of children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So children may be significant as well. I'm also seeing a lot of like butterfly wings, but I don't know. It's like dragonfly wings. So you may be seeing dragonflies as well. The number 3 is also significant. Okay, messages here. We got seeing things for what they are. So again, moving past the illusions. Give it the time it needs. It is within reach. Notice predictable rhythms. Well, what did I just say about assumptions? Plant a seed and wait. These two are very complementary. You're literally planting the seed in your hands because it's in your hands. It's not a competition. It's all for a reason. Make the best of it. Be clear about what you want. Y'all, we haven't even gotten into the tarot. Illusions are a huge block for whoever I'm talking to that this message is for. But again, that's because there is a fear here that has blocked your foresight or sight entirely. I don't know that you see things clearly. And because you don't see things clearly, it's hard for you to be clear about what you want. There's also a feeling of shame that's coming up that's feeling tied to it's all for a reason. You may feel like you completely screwed up in some way and that now you're back in a shame spiral. This may be something that you struggle with. It's all unfolding as it needs to in order for you to gain the wisdom and knowledge that is required to help whatever this is come together. It's not a competition. I feel like some of you or one of you, I don't know, I think you compare a lot. And because of that, you may try to take shortcuts or you may try to skip some steps or you may try to like emulate what you're seeing other people do because you're thinking, well, maybe that's what I need to do. No, what you need to do is what you need to do, which includes blocking everything else out. That's their journey, not yours. You have a very unique journey and a very specific one, might I add. From the moment this reading has started, everything has connected and everything was very specific. So you can't use someone else's blueprint. It's yours and only yours, which is why it's frustrating because you can't just look at so and so and be like, okay, I'm just going to copy paste and make it happen. No, you have a very divine journey that was handed to you. This was a gift. It may not always feel like it, but it's a gift for you. And you may not know what to do with it, but that's what this journey is for. You're learning, you're learning, and it takes patience. Lots of guidance here about time. Don't try to rush through it. And also, what's coming through is don't feel like it has to be, oh, well, I guess this just needs to happen like this and blah, blah, blah. No, like that. Again, disorienting, ground, take your time. Earth, the earth element, which has come up multiple times, is the slowest moving element. It takes time because it's stable, because it's secure. It's not trying to just rush through it. But with that said, it still requires hard work, dedication, and discipline, and most of all, consistency. You don't just plant a seed and wait. You plant a seed, you nurture it consistently, knowing that if I just continue to show up and nurture whatever this seed is, when I know I'm being called to, inevitably something will grow. Inevitably. This dies when you abandon and neglect. And again, it's a balance. If there's one thing plants have taught me, it's that I overcare. I overdo it. I didn't realize you could kill a plant by overwatering it. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, I don't want it to feel neglected and abandoned. So I'm gonna water, 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 water. But you hurt it still. So it's a beautiful example of again finding balance. You don't want it to dry all the way out. You're not nurturing nothing. You just left. But if you're nurturing too much, it's suffocating and then it drowns. It's not sustainable either. You want that balance in the middle. It is within reach. Make the best of it. I think for whoever I'm talking to, you also try to feed into the illusion by telling yourself that this is not within reach. It's done. It's over, whatever. And then you just go have a pity party. If you're still thinking about it, if it's still calling you, if you're dreaming about it, if you're getting signs about it, it's not over. But again, notice predictable rhythms. Notice where you're showing up, how you always show up and do something different. What is it? I mean, we're going to get into what you're not seeing because, again, the dark moon, what's hidden, the full moon is what brings it to light. The moon phases may also affect you. You may be very sensitive to the moon. Especially recently, we have so many, excuse me, confirmation. We have so many Pisces transits happening right now, so your dreams may be on one. Your feelings all over the place. That's okay. It's all information. So what are you doing with it? All right, let's get into the tarot and see what you're not seeing. This is exciting. I'm gonna pull some love cards too, because this is giving very much love energy. But we'll do that at the end. Okay, Spirit, thank you for all of that confirmation. Again, if that didn't fit for you, this ain't for you, and that's okay. You can still hang out. You don't have to leave. For whoever this message is for, can you please reveal what they're not seeing? What are they not seeing? These are all twirly. They're like little gymnasts. Ooh. Okay, so we got lots of swords, lots of wands. So air and fire energy. Yeah. Mm. I'm looking at the bottom of the deck and seeing the sequence because it's telling me a story. What's at the top? Mm. What you're not seeing is how much of your upbringing and your past has affected your ability to create a life for yourself that is different than what you've experienced. We have the Four of Wands in reverse at the top of the deck. We have Eight of Wands at the bottom, the Chariot behind, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse behind, the Ten of Cups in reverse behind. You may have experienced family trouble, or there may be a family related karmic cycle that has manifested a lot of disharmony within the family. Perhaps you grew up in a broken or unhappy home, or there was a struggling relationship that you experienced or were a part of, misaligned values, just a lot of disconnection that has created a fear for you of experiencing the same thing. But again, what you're not seeing is that fear has now created a version of you where you inevitably experience the same thing. You're doing it. You are now stuck or were in a karmic cycle that kept that energy going. Even though I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you swore that you wouldn't end up that way. You wouldn't do what your father did. You wouldn't do what your mother did. You would be different. Great. However, the fear you have of becoming like them has become an unconscious shadow trait where you now are just like them in ways that you may be blind to. Again, this is what's hidden from you, what you're not seeing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so many things are happening. This is stemming from you clinging to control. You love to have control. But again, that desire for control is keeping you stuck. You are creating a self-inflicted prison because you refuse to even entertain something different than what you've always seen and what you've always been used to because it feels safer, because you know how to show up, because you know what's about to happen, because you've been here many times before. So you don't feel like you have to show up any differently. There are no surprises. You're not surprised because you, again, perhaps unconsciously, keep showing up in the same energy, which inevitably will create the same outcome. And then you're like, oh, here we go again. Yeah, here we go again. Because it's the same old tune. You're doing the same dance. And you're doing it because you're afraid that if you do something differently, you won't know the next move to make. You'll feel lost, you'll feel vulnerable, and you're too scared to feel that way. So you cling to control, which is tied to a very predictable cycle that is rooted in everything you claim you don't want. And yet you do want it because it feels safer, because you know how to show up. What's crazy is, should you choose differently and really decide and be intentional about going a different way, with the Chariot and Eight of Wands here, things will move quickly like that. And you may know that as well, and perhaps that's what scares you too. There's a sense of inadequacy that's coming up here. And so you try to use the same excuses of, well, this isn't happening because A, B, C, and D. No, it's not happening because there's a part of you that knows that if you stopped the self-sabotage and you really invested intentionally into whatever this is, into the direction you want to go in, you would get it. You know that. It would happen for you. That scares you. You're not afraid of failure. You're very comfortable with failure. You've been experiencing it your whole life. You're afraid of success. You're afraid of attention. You're afraid of things working out because you know what that will require and demand of you as a person. Discipline, consistency, maturity, responsibility, integrity. You were able to get away with not having to do any of that before. And then just woe is me, victim mentality. The universe is not going to let up. It's not going to let you give up that easy and continue to play small because, like I said earlier, this is a very divine gift that was handed to you. And you may feel some type of way about that, but this is literally what you've been praying for. But it requires a version of you that you keep refusing to step into. And it will not come together if you continue to refuse to embody the qualities and the energy that you know you need to in order to bring this to life. Now, what's crazy is we got the King of Wands here, Leo energy. You're a natural born leader. You know that. You have vision, you're bold, you're daring, you're not afraid to take risks. You're charming, you may be an entrepreneur. You have this power that's just innate, it's magnetic, it's in you, it's not on you. And regardless of the fear, you do tend to be quite optimistic about what it is that you want for yourself. But then something happens, and again, it's here. We got the Eight of Swords, mental imprisonment. You talk a big game, and it's in you. It's not like it's all fluff, But then you get in your head, and then that voice comes in and it starts, here are the assumptions, here are the limiting beliefs, here are all, this is the inner critic. Again, if this is resonating with you, I think you need to come to my webinar because we're going to talk about all of this. There is a limiting belief or beliefs that keep you feeling powerless, that continue to fuel this idea that you're a victim. It keeps you trapped in the abyss of your own mind. And it's not even true. But again, and even the sequence of how it came out, King of Wands first, this is who you are. And then boom, your mind gets in there and starts fucking shit up, telling you everything. Every fear starts popping up. Oh, but what about this? Oh, but don't forget this. Oh, what would you do if this happens? Oh, remember this? Or remember when you acted this way? How would you do? It's just this hamster wheel of shit that's flinging it all over the place. So what ends up happening? Three of Wands in reverse. Delay, blocks, setbacks, obstacles, frustration. There's no movement forward because you psych yourself out. You don't plan, you don't execute. You're not seeing the progress because your mind starts creating the emotional response of, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to see this through. This, I'm an imposter syndrome. I'm a fraud, whatever, which then circulates into your action or inaction. Self-sabotage, not showing up at all, no plans, no execution, or showing up in ways where you know it will make things inevitably crumble. We have Aries Sun energy here, Gemini Jupiter energy, Leo energy, and Aries Venus energy here with the Four of Wands in reverse at the top. Again, with the Four of Wands in reverse at the top, given what we just said, this is stemming from roots. Look at your fourth house as well if you're astrologically inclined. Ooh, excuse me, confirmation. Your fourth house is the house of home, ancestry, roots. You may have grown up in a lot of instability. You may not have had a stable home. You may not have had a stable upbringing. You may not feel like you really had a home at all. I don't know. But there's a feeling here that you grew up around conflict, around a lot of arguments, around a lack of support, around feeling unwelcome, even though this is where you live. Home may not have felt like what home was supposed to feel like. And so, home to you may be a place you're still searching for. And perhaps there's also a fear that should you find home, it would be taken from you. Because whoever I'm talking to, again, we have heartache and loss earlier. Anytime you allowed yourself to feel that sense of admiration, love, intention, things were taken. So understandably, you created a defense mechanism, a coping mechanism of trying to convince yourself to not want anything anymore because you were afraid of experiencing that level of pain and disappointment again. This is what you're not seeing, how you are keeping the cycle alive, even though you claim to want something different. And you're not seeing it because it's in your unconscious mind. It's literally hidden from you. Also, look at your 12th house, the house of completion, the house of what's hidden. Do you have any placements there that may be more guidance for you? Stop allowing your mind to dictate your life. The mind is not the enemy, but when you allow it to become the master of your life, it can be. And not because that's what it's trying to do, it's not some malicious thing, it's literally all it knows. The mind operates on repetition. But if what you're repeating is continuously hurting you and not aligning with what you say you want, then perhaps it's time to take control so that you can align with the things you say you actually want instead of going on autopilot. That's why I do shadow work with people. That's the work we do. All right, let's get some guidance. And then we'll get some love cards just because, in case if anyone is resonating with this as a love message. Guidance for this person, please and thank you. Literally. Conflict, disagreements, competitiveness that came up earlier. And the magician in reverse, manipulation, unfulfilled potential, scattered energy, illusions, deception. Your guidance is the Four of Cups in reverse. This is a new outlook. This is considering something different than what you're used to. This is acceptance of what is, acceptance of what was. Again, I'm hearing a plane. This is choosing happiness. It is a choice. It's time to snap out of it. You have the awareness. You're not applying it. Consider something different. Cancer moon energy here as well. This is asking for clarity, which you've been getting. You're very tapped in. You get guidance. You get intuitive hits. But do you listen? Look at, again, imagery. She is so focused on what's not happening. She's missing it. This is literally a gift from the gods, from the heavens. Here is another cup, but she'll never see it if she's always focused on what's not working. Perspective is everything. Perhaps you like to focus on what's not working because you feel more in control there. Again, this is all you. Sorry to say, but it's on you. Stop blaming external circumstances. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming. It's not any of that. It's you. It's you. You keep choosing the same thing over and over and over again. So you decide ultimately, are you willing to have a new perspective, a new outlook on life? Are you willing to choose happiness? Or do you want to stay tied to what you've always known because that's what you've always known? All right, for anyone who is interpreting this as a love message, what can you tell us about the connection on their mind? One card. Coffin. The butterfly at the bottom. Ship. This is all about new beginnings, releasing the past, allowing endings to end, liberating yourself from that, evolving, growing, and allowing there to be a new cycle, a new phase. A lot of rebirth energy here. What happened in the past happened. You learned from it. I'm sure you learned a lot, but it doesn't have to come with you and keep infiltrating everything that you are involved in. Allow yourself to cut ties and move on. We got moving on as a mental card. This may be about your mental habits as well. What you used to keep yourself safe when you were younger is no longer necessary. That came through very strongly. Again, you're holding on to tactics that you used as a child to stay safe from whatever chaotic environment or negligence or whatever that you were in, but that's no longer where you are. Do you see how you are no longer in that place? You are no longer that person. And yet you keep recreating the same scenario because you claim that you don't want that, but it's all you know. And that sense of familiar energy can be comforting, even if it's hurtful, even if it comes with a lot of pain. Let it die and let yourself emerge from everything that you have learned through those experiences. Heartbroken on the bottom. Deeply hurt and sad, feeling lost, grieving and despair, breakup. Roses may be significant as well. Addiction. Again, we got the card of addiction. There may be codependency here, obsessions. Again, possession and control, an emotional block. That's what you are being guided to break out of. Can you share with us any insight or guidance on how the person on their mind is feeling about this connection? I feel like you need some guidance on that. How is the person on their mind feeling about this connection? They may not tell me. Oop, coffee cup. Meeting and talking. Oh, savoring the moment, building friendship. So if there is someone on your mind that feels tied to this message in some way, coffee may be significant. Um, but they, again, use your discernment. I know when it comes to love stuff, people get a little cray cray. But again, feel it. Feel it. Your hesitation is not unfounded because we do have not today on the bottom. Boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. You may not have ended on great terms. It may have been a difficult conversation, or someone may have ghosted someone else, or it's just a feeling of someone was upset. Something happened here. But the card that came out was coffee cup, meeting and talking, savoring the moment, feeling elevated, building friendship. You may have to start from the ground up. But again, there is a door here. And then at the top, we have wedding rings. Union and marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, devotion. They see you as someone who is a soul connection. And that has been consistent throughout this entire reading. There is a level of devotion to whatever this is. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have also been experiencing their own version of this entire reading for themselves of breaking free from things. Yeah, there may have been other people involved. The snake, we are also in the snake year. There may also just be people around you that are feeding into your fears. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of people who are projecting their own rigidity, fears, limitations when it comes to either this person, your love life. And people love to talk some shit, okay? And it's always coming from their own experiences. So you got to be careful about who you let in your ear. Not everyone wants the best for you. That's the hard truth. They may claim to want the best for you, and they may really feel like they're giving you good advice, but it's still through the lens of their wounds. So remember, misery loves company. Is there anything else that you would like to share about this connection for this person? Oh, that's it. All right. Well, what a reading. For whoever this was for, thank you for your time and your trust in allowing me to open this space and give you the guidance that came through for me. I trust that you received whatever you needed at this time to help illuminate whatever it was that has been hidden from you or blocking you in some way. I wish you the best of luck on your journey. If you would like to book a one-on-one, the link for that is below in my bio. As always, you know where to find me. I am here. And again, if you feel inclined to join our webinar, even if you can't join live, you will get a replay. The link for that is below. Thank you. Thank you. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk soon.